The internet, once a novelty, has become as essential as electricity or running water. It has woven itself into the very fabric of our daily existence, transforming how we live, work, and interact with the world around us. From the moment our alarms blare, synced to atomic clocks via the internet, to our last social media scroll before sleep, we are connected. Our days are bookended by digital interactions, shaping our routines and habits. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing the internet is gone. It's not just you. The entire world has lost its connection. What if, just like that, the internet disappeared? And not just for a few hours, but for a whole month. That's right, 30 days of total digital chaos. In today's video, we'll dive into why the internet could collapse and, more importantly, how life would look if it did. Let's dive into this thought-provoking yet plausible scenario. Alright, before we freak out, let's talk about how the internet could collapse worldwide. If the internet were to suddenly disappear for a month, something big would have to cause it. Let's break down the top contenders. Well, while the internet appears robust, its vulnerability lies in its interconnected nature. A single point of failure can cascade, leading to widespread outages. Imagine a domino effect where one failure triggers another, and so on. Cyber attacks, a growing threat in our digital age, could cripple critical infrastructure, effectively severing the internet's backbone. Hackers and cybercriminals are constantly looking for vulnerabilities to exploit. A well-coordinated attack could target key nodes in the network, disrupting services and causing chaos. The consequences of such an attack could be devastating, affecting everything from financial transactions to emergency services. Solar flares and solar storms are another potential threats, which could disrupt the satellites and undersea cables that form the internet's nervous system. A sufficiently powerful solar storm could plunge the world into darkness, both literally and digitally. The impact would be felt across the globe, affecting not just internet services, but also power grids, communication networks, and other critical infrastructure. The recovery from such an event would be challenging and time-consuming, requiring coordinated efforts from governments, businesses, and individuals. Natural disasters, such as earthquakes or tsunamis, could sever undersea cables, disrupting internet connectivity across continents. These events can cause physical damage to the infrastructure that supports the internet, making it difficult to maintain connectivity. Repairing undersea cables is a complex and costly process, and in the meantime, affected regions could experience significant disruptions in their internet services. While unlikely to cause a complete global collapse, the impact on communication and commerce would be significant. The possibility of an internet collapse, though unsettling, is not entirely far-fetched. While the internet has been designed to be resilient, it is not immune to failures. Its interconnected nature, while a strength, also makes it susceptible to catastrophic failure. The very design that allows the internet to connect people and devices across the globe also makes it vulnerable to disruptions. Imagine waking up one morning to silence. No email notifications, no social media updates, no news alerts. The internet, the lifeblood of modern communication, has vanished. Panic sets in as people realize the extent of the outage. Mobile phones, rendered useless without internet connectivity, become expensive paperweights. Landlines, once ubiquitous, become lifelines, but only for those who haven't abandoned them. Isolation descends as families and friends struggle to connect. The world, so accustomed to instant communication, grapples with the sudden and jarring silence. Cash is king again, financial systems in freefall. The internet's disappearance sends shockwaves through the global financial system. Online banking, credit card transactions, and stock markets all rely heavily on its stability. With the internet down, financial transactions grind to a halt. ATMs, unable to connect to bank networks, stand idle. Digital wallets, rendered useless, become digital relics. Cash, once relegated to the back of wallets, becomes king again. Panic selling grips stock markets as investors, unable to access real-time information, rush to sell their holdings. Global trade, heavily reliant on internet-based communication and payment systems, slows to a trickle. The disruption of online services can lead to a cascade of operational difficulties, from communication breakdowns to logistical nightmares. Companies must quickly adapt to alternative methods to sustain their operations and maintain customer relationships. The world teeters on the brink of economic chaos. The transportation industry would also be hit hard, because this one's a big deal. No Uber, no Lyft, no ride-sharing apps, and of course, forget about booking flights online. Without internet, travelers would have to resort to traditional methods like booking tickets at the counter, and finding transportation would be much more difficult. Navigation apps and GPS systems also rely on the internet. You will be left with paper maps. Yes, those things you'd find at the back of your glove compartment. So it's back to asking for directions from people who might not even know where they're going. Now, here's where things get a little scary. Healthcare. In healthcare, hospitals and medical centers rely on the internet for managing patient records, telemedicine services, and coordinating care between different facilities. A collapse could make it harder to access critical health information or consult with doctors online, leading to a healthcare crisis, especially in rural areas. The rise of analog media consumption in the age of disconnection. The internet's absence leaves a gaping hole in the media landscape. No streaming, no YouTube, no Spotify. We'd have to actually wait for it, read a book or try a board game, or maybe dust off that guitar in the corner and finally learn to play something in this offline world. Social media feeds fall silent, and online news outlets vanish. The constant stream of information, both vital and trivial, dries up. Newspapers and radio, once relegated to the sidelines, experience a resurgence. People gather around radios, hungry for information, while newspapers become prized possessions, passed from person to person. The absence of the internet forces a shift in media consumption habits. The constant bombardment of online content gives way to a slower, more deliberate pace. People engage in face-to-face conversations, rediscovering the lost art of analog communication. Digital detox or digital distress? The internet's disappearance triggers a wave of emotions, from relief to anxiety. For many, the sudden lack of connectivity is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers a break from the relentless pace of digital life, providing a rare opportunity to slow down and reflect. On the other hand, it can be a source of significant stress, especially for those who rely heavily on the internet for their daily activities and social interactions. Some welcome the forced digital detox, relishing the opportunity to disconnect and reconnect with the offline world. They find joy in simple pleasures, like spending quality time with loved ones, engaging in outdoor activities, and rediscovering hobbies that had been neglected. Others, however, experience withdrawal symptoms. The absence of digital interaction can lead to feelings of isolation and frustration. The constant urge to check notifications, respond to messages, and stay updated with the latest news becomes a nagging void. This digital dependency reveals how deeply ingrained technology has become in our lives. This phenomenon underscores the psychological impact of our digital habits, where the mind struggles to adapt to the sudden absence of its usual stimuli. Businesses must revert to traditional methods, such as phone calls and face-to-face interactions, which can be time-consuming and less efficient. This shift highlights the critical role that digital infrastructure plays in modern commerce. Losing the internet, even temporarily, would remind us of its incredible power and perhaps encourage us to use it more wisely. What do you think? Could you handle a month without the internet? Let us know in the comments below and hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.